Ready? I'm gonna put my timer on for 38 minutes. Okay. It's going. Are we? Yeah, recording. This is my Thank you. Bless you. Bless you, because I forgot. Okay. Yeah, we can record. I'm ready. Take one. And we only need one take. Action. I don't know if I want my hair behind my ear. I think so. I think I like that. Okay, because it shows us more the neck, right? um, I don't even talk to you guys about my love life. First of all, that's not even something that I like to talk about out loud. That's always like a personal thing for me, but I know it's like a little jazzy, jazzy, jazzy moment. People want to hear about it. So, I think I want to go in depth into my love life because I never really say anything, and you don't see me with anybody. You do not see me with anybody. Um, First, no, I'm not dating anybody at the moment. The last time I dated somebody was like someone that I actually liked. I would say 2019 maybe. 2019. So we're in 2026. So damn, it's been 6 years. Um First of all, I'm not a very big liker of people. So that's one. And I think what also goes into me not being a big dater, and I say this a lot, I'm not a big dater, is that I grew up in a really big family. I have 7 brothers and sisters. I have 3 brothers and 4 sisters. So, there's 8 of us total. And I've dealt with a lot of people in my life just growing up, dealt with a lot of personalities. Like I grew up with boys. I had just a lot of people in my world all of the time. I used to say something. I used to say it felt like I grew up in Chuck E. Cheese because every day I came home from school, like my brothers and sisters were all over the house. And so I guess growing up with a lot of people, when I got out into the world, I wasn't really looking for people. I was looking for more of myself. So I would like to say though, I love men. I love when they talk and they're smart. I love their basketball shorts. I love, the little things that they do. I love men. I think they're wonderful. But again, like I'm not a person who goes and looks for people. I have had people, so I went out into the world to look for myself. Um, and I always felt about relationships that they're romantic relationships, I'd say. It's the most important decision you can ever make in your life. Like you're talking about a person that you wake up to every morning, the person that you first wake up thinking about, the person that you want to text, the person that you confide in and tell everybody things, the person that you feel so comfortable with, the person that you can express yourself and open up to. Like I think that connection is so important, and you have to be really, 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 really picky about who you allow in your intimate space. So, if we're talking about like just figures, there's not a lot of people that I like around me. I just like how many people that you can find that you really want to be that intimate with. But no, I will say that I do know that I will get married. Um, and I do know that like whatever relationships I'm in, they get very, very intense in the very beginning. But I do know that I'm going to get married, and I do know that that's a part of like if I see a guy, if I see a guy that I'm like, I just love speaking to you every day. I think that you are so amazing. Your point of views are awesome. You have a lot to show me because you live in such a different world. You have a lot of information. You like to communicate. and I can't see myself doing in this world without you because it just like feels good with you in it, then that's when I'll get married and that's when I'll start my family. But I'm not a person who's like, I have to get married by 30. I have to have a family by this amount of time. You know, if I'm not married by this set schedule, if I don't have a man in my life, if I'm not in a relationship, then I have failed. I'm just not that girl. I'm just not that girl. But like I said, I know I'm getting married. And I know that as long as I'm expressing myself to the fullest and like loving myself, then the people that come around into my life are people that I also love and people that I want to have around. And I when we're talking about like husbands and shit, like for me, I feel like it would only be one person. And so I feel like I'll find him when I'm in my fullness, but I'm not like thinking about it at all. So, relationship status for me, like I wish I can give you guys so much more, but I just can't because I am not that type of serial dater type of girl. Um I'm just not that serial dater type of girl. Have I ever been in love? Mm. I I have loved two people, I believe. I have loved two people. The first person I've loved, and I don't know if I was in love with him, but I knew that I really, really loved him. I think I was, oh, this might have been 2011. This was like a 2011, 2013 moment. So it was a while ago. What I loved about him and what I hadn't experienced in any other man that I've been in relationship with is he made my life feel easier to do. Like I always knew that I was going to come into this world doing hard things because of just how my imagination works. I try to do I start something and I try to go to like the very very edge and like make it the biggest thing I've ever done. That's just how my mind works. And these things are hard to do. Like I take things to the maximum. So I know that if I'm out in this world and I dedicate myself to doing really, really hard things, I would need somebody who's in my life who just makes the hard things feel easier. And this person, I didn't even know that I needed that. This person that I met in 2011, it was interesting because like his energy made my life feel easier. I think also because he had a career that was very, very difficult. Like the physicality of his career was very, very difficult to do. And he had a lot on his shoulders and a lot of expectation very, very early, just like I did. So, because in his life he was doing a lot of hard things in his career, like me, I think on his off time and who he was and how he presented himself as a person, he wanted to be, it had to be very stable. And that's the same for me. So I think that that's the first time I recognized actually what I needed. And when I saw it and I felt it, it really just made my world so much easier, like I said. So, um, and easier, like I'll tell you this. Communication. We were very, very honest with each other. We told each other everything. He was curious about me and how I felt and what I was thinking, and I was curious about him and how he felt and what he was thinking. So we asked questions instead of denying each other, or going around in circles or arguing it back and forth. He didn't feel defensive about my inquiries or the things that I would say because he wanted to know more of why I felt those ways. And so that was very stable for me. And I love communication as well. And I say that everything can be talked out calmly. He was on the same page. So I was like, that makes my life easy and feel very, very, very stable. And I don't have to think about that. He lived in a different state than me, but at the same time, because we were very communicative and open, we had and we knew that we lived in different states, we didn't really have a high expectation of or control over each other either. So he did what he did or didn't. I don't know. I did what I did or didn't. We don't know either. But we always respected that part of each other as well. Like we there was just a lot of respect there. His demeanor was very protective. He always wanted to know where I was at. That made me feel very stable. So, like I said, the way he was and how he regarded me made me feel stable. And if I said, if there's someone in my life, if there is someone in my life that I have to consider, this person made things feel very easy to consider him and have him in my life so that my life felt easy. If that makes sense. Do you understand? So, yes, that made me feel deep love for him. I don't know if I was in love, but I really, really loved this person. And because we had that consideration and because my life felt easier, I felt that I can be around him for a long time. And also there was more things about him that I wanted to know. Like I always wanted to know like more about him. Um, and it's interesting because there's a lot of conversation about financials. I think that financially, if you're going to be in a relationship, you need to be able to afford the things that people like to do together. So that if you don't, if you're not financially secure in yourself, there literally is no logical explanation to bring another person into your life or that you have to financially like secure as well. So if you I feel like if you're broke, don't date. I feel like if you're broke, don't date. Um, so anyways, yes. This person was monetarily wealthy. However, that was not the part that made me feel secure. That on top of him being financially secure just made life feel easy. So I loved that moment. I loved that moment that we shared. It did not work out, but that was that. And I feel like after that, I've never felt anybody or experienced anybody whose life and whose demeanor and whose presence made my life feel easier. And so that's why I haven't dated a lot. I don't like arguing with people. I don't like miscommunication. I don't like lies. I don't like cheating. I don't like dishonesty. And it feels that people use relationships, from what I've seen, be, especially dating in America, because America is filled with a lot of broken people. I feel like, and we also have the wrong idea of relationships because how relationships began from the very beginning in our country, very controlling of the woman, very, I mean, the woman basically died if she got in a relationship. So that's the basis of relationships in the United States. Otherwise, if we're talking about like slavery, they would just breed people, you know? So living in a country where relationships are just toxic, relationships are just meant to be controlling. It's where you dump all your horrible things. There aren't a lot of people in this country per se that you can find for me that I don't feel like you would dump all your bad shit inside of the relationship. So yes, I haven't dated a lot because I don't feel like anybody has the right idea about relationships. And for me it's not that important. Like it's not that important to do. Um, Pero, because I'm in Mexico. Pero there is another person that came around in my life at another time. Am I shiny? No, I'm good. There's another person that came into my life at another time. And what he brought me, I would say this was 2019. Yeah, 2019. What he brought me was stability and also extreme, extreme, extreme kindness. And I believe at that time in my life, I needed extreme kindness and consideration and attention of my feelings because I wasn't getting that amongst my friends or family or anybody. So he gave me extreme kindness, personal care, personal consideration. And that's what made me love him and want to be around him and want to allow him into my space. Um, ooh, I say a lot. I'm gonna fix that next season. That'll be gone. Allow him into my space. And we shared very, very sweet times. And we shared he was very kind to me. And like I said, very, very attentive. He, ooh, I hate the Whoa, okay. The rest of the podcast, I'm not gonna say at all. The rest of the podcast, I'm not gonna say at all. Yes, but it might because it kind of lends to the feeling, but it's fine. He brought me extreme kindness. He brought me extreme gentleness. He brought me personal attention. And that's what I needed at the time. And that's what I loved about him at the time. We didn't work out for whatever reasons we didn't work out. I needed other different things. But that was a male human being that I felt that I really, really loved. And so that is what I look for when I'm looking for a partner or anybody just to share my space with. That's why I can't really be a serial dater. And oh my gosh, what was I saying? Get back to what I was saying. I get it. Um, yes, the keeps track. That's why it works. Um, so. I'm not a serial dater, guys. I'm not a serial dater. But I also feel like this year, 2026, I do want to attempt. I think I do want to attempt to serial date this 2026. I have never done that in my life. I haven't even had a whole phase. I tried a whole phase, but I just got like too bored. Anything that takes too much of my personal emotional energy, I'm not gonna do. But I think 2026, I'm going to be very, very intentional about. I think I'm going to be very, very intentional about wanting to share energy and space with men. I'm going to be very, very intentional about that. Yeah, I think going into 2026, I'm going to give you guys a datey moment. But I will say this also. Also, hmm. No, 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 no. Yeah, 2026, I'm going to give you guys like a datey moment. But I will say this also. I feel like if you're going to date, I think that it's important to date when you date safely. For me, why it took so long is because I wanted to make sure that I knew what my boundaries were, what I wanted, what I didn't want. I wanted to make sure that I could stand up for myself. I wanted to make sure that I can live in my truth. And I also wanted to make sure that I was in a place where I didn't feel moved or swayed. You know what I mean? Because when you're dealing in these like love relationships, in these romantic relationships, you can compromise yourself or feel swayed sometimes about your beliefs and what you will allow and what you won't allow. And I wanted to make sure that I was very, very, very grounded in who I was and my beliefs before I really went and had a datey moment. And I believe now, like as a grown woman and gone through my my personal like up and down journey, I can literally say right now what I need, what I don't need, what I will do, what I won't do, what I'll have, what I will put up with, what I'll experience, and what I won't. So I'm a little excited about that. We might have a dating Gina era. I never gave you a Gina dating era. We might have a Gina dating era. What am I looking for now? Hmm. Hmm. Hold on, I think some more. Yeah, I ran out. This is important. Okay, what am I looking for now? I don't think this is husband moment for me. Uh, do I feel like doing that? No, I don't feel like doing that yet. It's not husband moment for me, but I think dating wise, what I'm looking for is fun and ease and stability. Again, because I don't like to argue and I don't like miscommunication. So I feel like if a person is not stable, he does not know how to communicate. And because he's like inadequate and unstable within himself, like anything that I can say or suggest would throw him all the way off. Not doing that. Somebody stable, somebody fun, and someone communicative, and someone who likes to listen, and literally someone who just likes to have fun and go with the flow. And very, very important for me, somebody who believes in magic. I'm a big believer in magic, and I'm a big believer in, I would say, spirituality and also just your own personal connection with the world. And if this person doesn't have a connection with the world or any type of serendipitous energy, then we are not compatible because he wouldn't understand how I maneuver through the world and I wouldn't understand how he maneuvers through the world. But again, like something easy, something easy, something easy, and something fun. I think that's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think that's it. I don't I don't believe that anything else matters outside of the people that I like really, really loved. So I think that's it. That's the story. Okay. Well, that concludes our episode about love in the Velvet Room. Something to take away, I guess, would be good for you to help you establish what you will have and what you won't have in your relationships. Oh, oh, yeah. Something that will establish what you will have and what you won't have in your relationship so you're not maneuvering in this world afraid or rejecting everything. Uh, what I do is what I just told you, what I'm looking for. Like figure out what you're looking for and what you absolutely need right now in your relationships. So then that way, if it shows up, you recognize it as something that you can keep in your life. And if it doesn't show up and it's something different, then you can recognize that this is a person that you don't need and you can easily discard it. Him or her, it. You can easily discard it. Because I will say I used to be afraid of being in relationships because I wasn't sure. I didn't have my set codes and who I will and will not have. But and it's easy to say, it's like literally duh, but who cares? I'm just gonna let you know. Serious relationship or not serious relationship, what do you need right now for yourself as a woman? What do you want to experience? And have those things set. And anything that comes into your life that's not that, then you just know it's a person that you shouldn't be around. And if it does come in and it has those things, then you are on the right path and you won't experience drama or trauma. I say that because I am not a person who wants to experience drama or trauma anymore in relationships and dealing with people. So that's what helped me. And so that would help you not experience the drama or the trauma, but just the beautiful experience of the relationship and getting to relate with someone else. That's it. Thank you for tuning into the Velvet Room. I hope this episode was a quick little vibe for you, just like it was for me. And I will see you in the next episode. I think that's it.